Today we're going to do something completely different. We're not going to fix anything or drive anything. We're going to tear down this Core LS7. Part of my business, we part out a lot of LS-based engines. I've got a whole wall of them, probably a few hundred of these engines a year. This is the very first and likely the very last LS7 I'll ever have the chance to buy. I don't know much about it like most of the cores I get in here. I don't really get a story with it. I usually get them stripped down about like this, and all I know about this is that it is completely locked up, can't budge the crank, and I own it. That's it. So I'm going to take this apart and we're going to see what we find. I don't know if it's like totally blown up or if it's something simple. I might come out shining like a diamond here, or, well, it might be a whole bunch of scrap. There's really nothing alarming on the outside of it. I mean, I've seen them where these engines are kind of broke here from a rod trying to make an exit. The plugs aren't in it, which is pretty much normal for when I get cores in. That's kind of a good news thing. The oil pressure sending unit is still in it. When those are gone, I know it's usually an oil pressure related issue or something like it. Outside of that, there's no telling signs, so we're going to start popping the valve covers off and pull the valve train and see what we can find. So let's get started. Oh, sorry, loose. All right, that looks stock. That's not a good sign. So that rocker's loose. They're all kind of loose. So let's see if we can get these rockers out of here. Okay.
Nothing torn up yet. Nothing great.
Okay, let's pull these push rods. They look like they're stock push rods. Nothing bent or chewed up. Yeah, these all look pretty decent. Let's get to the other side. Alright. I don't see anything awry yet. Okay. So these all look pretty decent so far. That one's got a little debris in the end of it, so that's not good. Okay, still very much mystery. Let's get these head bolts out. So those are not tight enough, so the heads have been off. Yep, we're just going to use the impact on this. And the other bolts in the front of the head are missing already, so someone's already had this head off, most likely. Wouldn't be surprised to find like a missing head gasket or something. Just slapped it back together when they realized it was junk. Seeing it all. Alright. Let's see what we find. Oh, nope. I don't think this has a head gasket on it. No gasket, and wow, that looks really nice. But I don't see any valve issues. Just one concern. Everything looks to be alright. This is not really any telling damage per se. Like contact marks, damage to the boards, but I did notice that one of the lifter trays is not bolted in, so we're going to go ahead and pull the trays out, pull the lifters out, and see what we can find. That's likely where we're going to find a problem. It looks all right to me. got more of the milkshake. I don't see any metal. That has some damage. Not terrible. I've definitely seen worse with all the DoD stuff we pulled apart. Add. Nothing like, oh well, this is why it's locked up. Nothing yet, anyway. Alright, well that doesn't look too terrible. So, let's go to the other side and maybe we'll find the culprit over there. So I'm going to assume these head bolts are loose like the other side. Yep.
Oh, that was a good sign. Hopefully some doesn't fall. Oh, out there.
Yeah. Okay, moment of truth. Yep, they're all out. There we go. Well, there's more milkshake. I don't see any valve damage. Yeah, it's disgusting. But I don't see any actual damage. So that's good. Maybe I get a couple good heads out of it. Oh. Well, I think I found a problem. This bore has a crack in it, and the block has a crack in it. Well, that's no good. So there's the crack in the block and in the bore. So that's it's not too hot. Not too happy about that. That still doesn't really explain why it's locked up. That could be something that happened if it maybe ingested water. Who knows? But that is a big problem. So now that the valve train and heads are off, we're going to see if we can spin this over. And no, we really cannot. Oh, it does turn. We'll go make a full revolution. Let's find out. Nope, that bolt's coming loose. So there's likely something else wrong with this besides the fact that the block is most likely junk. So let's keep on tearing it down. I got the other lifters out. We're going to pull the back cover off, see if it's got an aftermarket cam, which it probably doesn't, but you never know. And then we're going to crack the pan off and pull the bottom end apart, and hopefully all of the damage is just the block. But I have a feeling that the way this is going, we're going to find all kinds of stuff wrong. All right, let's get this back cover off. Well, that is a factory cam, it appears. Full of milkshake still. Anything hiding back here? Nope. That all looks almost suspiciously clean. And nothing terrible yet. Let's tear the pan off of it. It looks like most of the bolts are out of it already, so I'm sure it's not going to be too bad to get this off. It's got a nice oil filter. It says Filtro DSC8. I learned all my Spanish when I worked at AutoZone. On the back of water pump and fuel pump boxes, Bomba de Gasolina. Oh, that's disgusting. Huh. Yeah, it's pretty rough, but nothing's popped down here. There's no rods hanging out of the windage tray. So let's go ahead and get the windage tray off. Let's see. Looks like someone's definitely been in here before. Okay. Yep, everything's marked. I wonder if that's during assembly. I've never been inside one of these, but I have never seen marks like that, so I don't know. Alright, well, let's get some rods and pistons out of it. And let's get this oil pump off first. Guess we need a 10 for that, huh? See if this is enough oomph to take this off. Oh yeah. That was the cam falling because I forgot I took the back plate off. I'm a genius sometimes. Just not this time. Well, that all looks alright. I don't see any damage in that front cam bearing, so that's a plus. So let's continuing. Just hoping for no bearing damage. I might just stop if I find something really torn up. Not too bad, really. So that doesn't look too terrible. Everything looks pretty decent. I don't see any signs of damage. A little scoring on the skirts, but let's go ahead and get some more out. Number 4. Let's do number 3 here. And much of the same.
Now we're stuck.
And this looks pretty decent, really. Nothing standing out yet. All right, well, we can get to a couple more before maybe we will unlock the mystery of why this doesn't turn over, because a crack in the block is one thing, but I have a feeling that happened because of some other reason. Maybe it's got a bent rod. Maybe it ingested some water. We will find out. Okay, so this is I'm already seeing a problem here. Please don't be messed up. Please don't be messed up. Pretty please. Oh, I already see problems. Let's get the... Let's get the camera and I'll show you. So as you can see, this area looks a little hot, a little discolored. I would probably bet a serious amount of money that that journal is not going to be too happy when I get these caps off. If I can get these caps off. It's a big if at this point. So let's keep trying. I do. Oh, that sounds awesome. Oh, there's some, yeah, that's not good. Wow. The side of that journal is just smoked. Actually, the crank journal doesn't look too bad. Yeah, there is something seriously unright here. Well, the bearing is flipped around. I don't know if that's how it was. Let's pull that out and take a look. That's what's really strange. It's like maybe the crank walked. Maybe it's got bad thrust bearing. Because the bearing surface, while it's scored, isn't that bad. It's just the edge of the bearing that's bad. And it's quite unlikely I'm going to get this to turn over any kind of conventional way. Let's try this. Oh my gosh. Just want to get to where I can get that cap. All right. Let's see what lies behind this cap. So that side of that cap is pretty, wow. That side's torn up too. Oh, that's a problem. That's not straight. So many surprises. So for these rods to work to their maximum potential, they need to be straight. That one's straight. That one's straight. That one, not so much. It's actually bent in more than one direction. It's awesome. That's gonna make a good good counterpiece here at the shop. So the crank actually looks pretty decent. I can't feel any super deep grooves in it. It's gonna need some work at the edge of the journal, but it's not bad. Looks absolutely disgusting with the milkshake coming out of the oil hole. So I've created a huge mess here, but you know, that's what I'm good at. Got some good heads to sell, a pan, hopefully a crank and some rods and pistons. And the block might be salvageable for the right person, but definitely not what I was hoping for. But after all, that's what you get when you buy cores. So I could go a little further, pull the cam and crank out of it, but I think I'm good on surprises for now. I don't think there's anything left in this that would surprise me. You know, the bent rod and crack block, well, the bent rod's not that big of a deal, but the crack block, man, that hurts the old ticker. I've torn a ton of LS's apart, and when like a 6 liter or a 6.2's blown up, it is not that big of a deal. If the block's bad, it sucks, but you move on. But a 7 liter, yeah. Anyway, if you guys like the video, I'll probably end up shooting some on some of the other cores I get. I've got a couple 6.1 Hemis to take apart. I've got a Viper engine, some Cummins engines. I mean, I have no idea what I'm going to find. That's kind of one of the exciting things when you get an engine that's supposed to be bad, or it's obviously bad, taking it apart and finding all the carnage and all the damage and trying to put together the story as to why it is no longer a functioning piece. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and enjoy your day.